is one thing in the Crown Jewels programme that made me very scared about the show I was about to see, and it is as part of the writer's note at the front, and it reads as thus. My advice if you're about to see the Crown Jewels is laugh at everything, if only to encourage the shyer members of the audience and the actors. When you have to beg your audience to laugh at a comedy, I get a little bit worried. I really wanted to like the Crown Jewels. It has a lot going for it. It's got a cast of really strong actors, a lot of really strong comedians. It has a story that is legitimately hilarious and completely true, and is written by Simon Nye, a writer who I know personally because I'm a massive Doctor Who nerd, and wrote one of my favourite episodes for the series, Amy's Choice. All of the pieces seem to be in place for a show that I should love. However, I did not. So, why didn't Crown Jewels work? What elements did it have going for it, and why did I ultimately not like it? Let's find out. But if you haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Ellie. I talk about theatre. I do reviews, I do discussions, I do video essays, and if any of that sounds interesting to you, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out, it helps out the channel. But let's discuss The Crown Jewels. The Crown Jewels is a new comedy, which is based on a true story that happened during the reign of King Charles II. If you are unaware of British history, King Charles II is known for two main reasons. Number one, he has the second best Horror History song. Don't at me, the best one is Dick Turpin. Thank you very much. But I mean, it's still iconic. My name is Charles II. I love the people and the people love me. And secondly, he is the king who restored the monarchy in the UK. During the reign of Charles II, he was challenged for the throne by Oliver Cromwell, who won and took over England, abolishing the monarchy in this country. He hated dancing, festivals, theatre, Christmas, and banned almost all of it. So when Cromwell died, they reinstated the monarchy, starting with Charles II, the son of Charles I, who was basically Cromwell's opposite, absolutely loved the party, but there was still a lot of opposition to Charles and the monarchy. This is where Colonel Blood comes in, and he planned to steal the Crown Jewels. You may be thinking this must be an utterly daring feat of wits and brains and No, the Crown Jewels in that time were kept in a cupboard guarded by a 70-year-old man. So it was pretty easy, barely an inconvenience. And he pretty much managed to do so, however he brought the wrong size bag, meaning that he had to smash the crown to make it fit and snap the royal scepter in half. That is the history that we are dealing with here, and I'm giving it in this much detail so you can tell how funny and silly this story is. This feels like it would fit perfectly for a comedy play. Especially as we've seen things like Mischief Comedy do amazing slapstick, and Operation Mincemeat present a completely hard-to-believe story and make it funny and engaging. The Crown Jewels does not take advantage of any of this. The Crown Jewels is not here to tell this story. The Crown Jewels is here to show off Al Murray and to make sex jokes. That is pretty much the experience of watching The Crown Jewels. If you love sex jokes, you are going to love this play. Or maybe not, because honestly, the sex jokes in this show weren't that funny to begin with. I think this show just really misses the opportunity that it had. The funniest part about this story, the most entertaining moment in the story, the bit of history that inspired this story is done off stage. The actual destruction of the crown is done off stage. Because it doesn't want to focus on the comedic potential of this moment, it instead has to pad out the runtime with whatever comedy it can think of. And about 75% of this are sex jokes. There are jokes about the scepter looking like a dick, King Charles II wants to bang every woman in the audience, and look, I can go for a sex joke every now and then. I can go for a little bit of lowbrow humour. But when your play is almost entirely made up of these, it starts to wear on you a bit. In my opinion, this book doesn't really have many jokes that land. And the ones that do and the scenes that do are almost entirely down to the actors. The two best scenes in this play are Act 1 scene where Al Murray just improvs and does his stand-up with the audience for about 10 minutes, and the opening to Act 2 where Al Murray and Giedroyc are just kind of bouncing off each other as these two larger-than-life characters. When the play allows Al Murray and Mel G to just do what they do best, it is genuinely funny. It almost makes you wonder why they didn't just turn around and make this the Al Murray show. Give us an 80-minute show of Al Murray as King Charles II just riffing with the audience. Al Murray does a really great job in this. He blends into the character quite well. It's very over the top, it's very lowbrow, it really fits him well. He is genuinely funny when he's allowed to go off the rails and just mess around and have fun with the audience. But the problem here is, allowing Al Murray to do this alongside the rest of this show really does highlight how weak the rest of the material is. And you could even tell with the audience reaction that these are the moments that are getting the best engagement. Throughout the rest of the play, it's very scattered laughter, especially in the performance that I saw. But when Al Murray is just let off loose and was able to do his thing, you could tell that the energy in the room had gotten stronger. People are coming to this show to see Al Murray, to see him do his stand-up, to see him do what he does best, and to do what he's known for in his other specials. And it's so weird to watch this work, to watch this entire sequence really work and to manage to get a laugh out of me in multiple cases. And still, the majority of the show is not focused on this and instead focused on this story that the play doesn't really feel like it wants to tell. The moments that made me laugh in this play were due to the actors' commitment to the bit. The bits that, for the most part, they were improvising. It feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity. And there's a lot of really odd choices here, especially when it comes to characterization. Colonel Blood, who is the person who this story is surrounding. Colonel Blood is the person who destroys the crown, the person who snaps the scepter. If I was looking at this story, Colonel Blood should be the character who is completely over the top, completely and utterly inept. And yet, he is presented as the straight man, meaning that a lot of his scenes drag. And then, on top of this, without any strong punchlines in these moments, it makes it feel even longer. I have not seen a play in so long that it's just kind of had to fall back on very cheap punchlines. And when all these jokes kind of blend together and feel the same, it felt like a slog to get through. There are also some songs in this show, performed by Carrie Fletcher, and they're fine. Carrie performs them well, she sounds beautiful. When doesn't Carrie Fletcher sound good? But these feel like a very odd inclusion. The songs themselves don't really land any strong comedic punches, and they don't really have any kind of impact. But they're repetitive enough to kind of get in your head a bit, so, why not? They just kind of feel like they've been included here because they cast Carrie Fletcher and went, oh my god, she can sing, let's put in some songs here. Which, is neither a good thing or a bad thing. I just wish that they kind of felt more purposeful to the show as a whole. Let's talk a little bit about this cast, because I feel so bad for them. You can tell in a lot of cases they just aren't being given the material to truly shine. Al Murray commits. And you have to give him credit for this. He's clearly having fun, but it's in these moments where he's allowed to let loose that he really shines as King Charles II. You can tell he really enjoys playing this really campy, over-the-top character, especially when contrasted to his other role, which he feels very forgettable in. Again, something similar can be said about Giedroyc. Her first role, which she plays alongside Al Murray, doesn't really get to shine. But when she's given an over-the-top character in The French Noblewoman, she has some really standout moments. She's putting on an over-the-top accent, she's chewing the scenery, she's playing and joking around with the audience members. When they let her go and go off the rails and play around and have fun, it is fun to watch. But honestly, it's mostly a shame for the rest of the cast who don't really get their moments to shine. Carrie Fletcher, yeah, she gets to sing some songs here and there, but her main character, the daughter of the elderly couple guarding the crown jewels, is really weak and feels extremely underdeveloped. And then there's the whole gang trying to steal the crown jewels. Aidan McArdle, who plays Colonel Blood, Joe Thomas, who plays his son, Neil Morrissey, who plays Captain Poirot, and Tanvi Bhamani, who plays Jenny. These guys try and ham it up and get some laughs in the process. But it is such a shame how wasted they are, especially when you think about the potential that this had from the original story. On the whole, The Crown Jewels is unfortunately one of the weakest shows I've seen this year. It has a lot of potential for something funny and has the cast to back it up, but it doesn't allow them to truly shine. When it allows Mel Giedroyc or Al Murray to be silly, to be goofy, to improvise, it can be so fun, and it can be entertaining. But the other hour and 50 minutes are tough to get through. If you are a fan of lowbrow humour, there's probably a couple of things here you'd enjoy. But if you are a fan of Al Murray, I'd probably recommend just waiting till his next solo tour. But as we all know, theatre is what's subjective. So, have you seen The Crown Jewels? Did you like it? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It really helps me out, helps out the channel. Here's some links to my other videos on screen right now, and a link to my Instagram if you want to drop me a follow over there. But that's it for me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!